Bonjour à tous.
Bonjour à tout le monde. Bonjour à tous.
Hello everybody. Today we have a very nice rain here, and I think because of the rain you slept very well. So as we said yesterday, when we listen to Dharma teachings, it's very important to develop the right motivation. It's important to have a great motivation. So first of all, when we will pay homage to the three jewels, we will take refuge in the three jewels, and this is for the benefit of all beings. We will wish to reach enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. So there are two kinds of bodhicittas, two kinds of enlightened mind and enlightened attitude. There is the relative or conventional bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta. So we develop bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings. And at that time, when we do that kind of practice, we are in the relative bodhicitta. So the relative or conventional bodhicitta can be in two ways. It can refer to two aspects that we find in the 7-point mind training. The first aspect is the equality of ourselves with others. And the second aspect is exchanging ourselves with others. So here we talk about the enlightened mind of exchanging ourselves with others. It's about offering or giving whatever we have, whatever quality we have, whatever virtue we have, whatever wealth we have, our possession to all sentient beings. And to make the wish that all their unfortune and unhappiness will come to ourselves. So this aspect of exchanging ourselves with others can first of all take place in the mind. It's a way of thinking, it's a wish. We imagine that all our qualities and virtue are offered to all sentient beings. And we imagine that all their suffering melt in ourselves. So this is just our thoughts, this is just mine. But this is not a real donation, kind of. We just do it in our own mind. It's just a thought.
덴바르 무스 소소 대화도 롱셔 tsoma 파르테 오야도 무스 옌치 등하 tsoma 데 츠클레야 된다 무스 메야 무스 요 말했어요 덴바르 이나 용 든디 선어 동야테 개첨보 요레스
So first of all, this process, this thinking will take place only in our mind. So we won't truly give our wealth and possession to others in exchange of taking their suffering. But this is part of the path. This is the way we start with, because it's happening in the mind, and it's important first what happens in the mind.
다다 ngazo la nyomomba de cha hedong tumu ngaja kontroteso ni le labo goni lendo yores 그래서나 ngazo tera kowa toma mebani ni tuse rimbo 질 ngazo lojonshi yores
Et ici,
So here we talk about mind training. So what is taking place here is the training of mind training. The thing is that since beginningless time, we trained our mind for afflictions, disturbing emotion, for anger, ignorance, and because we cultivated that for life and life, it naturally happens or arises in our mind. So learning to exchange ourselves with others will create new tendencies and our mind will change.
gamombo tu jendo ngazo jede yores zodo yores tu namjin lojon mombo zo yore gamombo ji yores yin gam ina yo ngazo kansekta nyomomba onki lojon yayat yapot maji gan yapot maji lojon dejado gan dupo shul jawa yores
So since beginningless time for life and life, we familiarized ourselves with some aspects of our mind, but those aspects were our own tendencies, which are afflictions mostly. And because of that, our mind went to the negative direction.
jambaton ije shonche sentaso ni nyima chi no la kacha chi ni san yo kama chi ni se chi ni ya ya pa ni kale lojon shi san ya na ni nam chi tsena ni koro le lawo go ni le gi sare
et donc nous, il nous faut pratiquer un entraînement de l'esprit qui est
So we have to practice a positive mind training. We have to reverse our non-virtuous tendencies. And because of that, we have to practice love, compassion, bodhicitta, the enlightened mind. We need to train in that. So we will cultivate that for a minute, 2 minutes, and slowly we will increase the time up to 1 hour, 2 hours. And we will do it longer and longer. And because of that, because of doing it longer, those tendencies will arise more easily.
ansek Pena kareresina tata ngazo nyo momba desola lo mombo jong yan ba song yan sang. Jen te trewa na lasang control lo ya. Jen te trewa na lasang de cha lo ya. Ye dong lo ya legi do was. Ye zang ta ngazo jamba tong ni ji shong chik sen de sola lo mong zi jong na ni ji se jen te tre na lasang de legi sa.
Par exemple, ce-
For example, what happens in ourselves is that for life and life we cultivated negative tendencies, we cultivate anger, desire, attachment, etc. And those arise so easily with a little circumstance, a little something, it will arise so easily. So if we do the opposite, we cultivate love, compassion, enlightened mind. And after that, in the future, these tendencies will also arise that easily when we meet some circumstance.
Yeso lo jong de mombo legi do was. Ni shamba to ni ji shong chik sen la sa ba to lo jong na ni daily jong le la bo nga so yong go yesa re. Jen sen kareresina nyo momba deso nga zo ngune yeten de mare ko lo wa res. Shamba to ni ji shong chik sen de so nga zo ngune ko yeten de res. Nga zo yeten. Yesa de lo jong na hu chi mo pya yesa res.
And even more, probably, those qualities that we will cultivate will probably even arise more easily. Why? Because love and compassion are our real qualities. They are our real mind qualities. Right now, our mind is mistaken, is veiled. What arises now is not real, actually. It's kind of cheating us. But those qualities, love and compassion, they are our real mind qualities. So they will arise even more easily.
si on développe l'entraînement de l'esprit, eh bien et l'entraînement de l'esprit en ce qui concerne la compassion, l'amour, etc., eh bien, comme ces qualités sont des qualités inhérentes à l'esprit, elles vont se développer plus rapidement, de manière plus puissante.
Ni nga zo tata kong shong chik sen xie gre se ya de shong chik sen se na tanda zi du ga na do du na ka zong nge ni kipa zamba zombo sen ji xu yin ba ta zombo xie ne de
Et donc,
So here we see the importance of developing the right intention, the motivation, the right motivation of bodhicitta. If I had to resume, if I had to say briefly those qualities, yesterday I talked about Kiwu Dampa, the eminent, the great being. So we talked about the quality of being a pandit, the quality of being venerable, and the quality of being excellent. So here, bodhicitta, the wish of reaching alignment for the benefit of all being, refers to the third quality, sampo, to be excellent.
la ni lo jong da xu chen bo zu xi de na cha de sa res ba cha gi sa res zamba se ya de yo lu nga ni bo za za zo xu da ja de na zamba da yong gi sa res ni zombu gi ye ten se ya de ni lo jong xie ge se lo jong ge se ni ko nga zo ge gen to ko nyu yo nga zo ge gen ya ra ko na ba sa de su nyu yo zombu gi ye ten de lo jong xie ni ya yong ge se kipa te nga tsu lo jong xie rari xie na kipa chandu ki sa res. Zamba seya te zaza xie na zamba xie yongu ye sa res. Zombi ye ten seya te lo jong xie lo jong actrice xie lo jong ya xie yongu ye sa res.
les, Donc, un individu éminent, c'est un individu qui a 3 qualités.
So an eminent being has 3 qualities. So the first quality is to know very well the phenomena. And that quality, we get it through studies. And we get it through the second quality, which is to be venerable, we get it through the action of mind and body. And the third quality, linked to bodhicitta, which is to be excellent, is acquired through training our mind, through practicing. So being a pandit, being having knowledge is something very important. Having a venerable attitude is also very important. But what is the most important is the third quality, sangpo, which means having an excellent mind attitude, wanting to benefit others.
Mama George Pade Atishas. Ni Konla Gegen Mombo Yores. Ni Gegen Jambatas and 2 and Hajacha Yores. Ni Kong Gegen Lama Selling Passing 10 2 and Ni Kong Yanchasa Yores. Ni this.
So why is the third quality so important? Why is it the most important among those 3, to be a pandit, venerable, and excellent? So for that we can refer to the great master Atisha's attitude. When he heard only the name of his teacher, he had many masters in his life generally, and when he used to hear his teacher's name, he would always put his hand like that. But when he used to hear his main master selling past name, then he used to have tears.
Lama Yamba Teso 10 2 and Hamujak. Lama selling big 10 2 and Shanchas race and Yakachatu. Atisha Lankaris and Barasena. Ni Tata Ni Jula Zombie Yeten. Jones on Yopate. Lama selling big Cardin.
So then his disciples ask him, why when you hear others' master's name, you just join your hands, but when you hear Selingpa's name, you get tears? Why? And he answered that it's thanks to Selingpa's kindness that he could really develop bodhicitta and that excellent mind. This is why he's getting tears when he hears Selingpa's name. Therefore, through that example, we can see how that quality of excellent mind of Sempa Zampo is so important, wanting to accomplish the benefit of others.
George Pade Atisha. Ni Kong Hama. Oh, Ngo. Otong. Ya. Nyugi.
Un autre exemple.
Another example that shows bodhicitta importance, still connected to Atisha, is the following one. Atisha had a headache and back pain.
네 콩라 아티샤 까노니 저런 그 샤 라파 라파티 니 고토 야라 야로시 레레세나 저런 미 좀부 좀비 야데 야바스마야 저런 샤티 어떤 공게 어떤 야라 야나 니 멘토서 마라파티 저런 데 야발라 테니 자기 뒤에서 까노
So Atisha had headache and backache. And he asked his disciple Dromdamba. He asked his disciple Dromdamba to put his hand on his head and his back in order to heal him. And Dromdamba did so. And through doing that, Atisha's pain disappeared. And he asked that because he knew his disciple got these qualities, this excellent mind. And because of that, it acted like medicine, and he could heal.
근데 님비 남타칭이 로이 디노는 가레 두세나 난타노라 네 아마 사샤 카실라 네바 몽보여바 네바 뜻올라 멘토 타이엠바 공기 리커버 로마지니 아마바기 뜻소 고토 나사 카와이나 제가 샤야니 네바 뜻소 rando야 로주
Khenpo is saying that he read the biography of the second Karmapa, where there is another example of bodhicitta. In the biography, it's written that in many places in Tibet, there was at that time like an epidemic, pandemic. Many people were sick, and he put his hand where because there was no medicine, there was no method to heal. He put his hand on the people's where people had pain, and because of that, they could heal, and the pain disappeared.
Ça, c'est ce que j'ai pu.
So this is Khenpo says what I could read in the scripture and what I could read in the teachings I read, but I also got a personal experience of that. So this happened for Khenpo as well. From 2014 to 2018, I always had stomach pain, he says. I always had stomach pain. And I ate so much medicine, but nothing was helpful. And finally, I thought there was no way, there was no mean of healing, couldn't do anything, and I thought, okay, maybe I'm gonna die.
J'allais mourir.
And then in 2017, I met His Holiness the Karmapa.
Et donc,
And that time I met the Karmapa, His Holiness the Karmapa, and I told him, Your Holiness, I have a lot of problem in my stomach. I always have stomach pain. And saying that, he put his hand on my belly. And after that, I wasn't sick for 10 days. For 10 days, I had no pain, no problem.
contre mon ventre. Et 10 jours après, j'étais guéri.
Tene dedu kala di kala ngi trans kama pa zuntrul ngas trans. Tene jisa ta joji namta mo lo. Tene lama sene pa tene kama pa ko komate so nanta mo lo ndi. Tene tata ngasa kama pa yiji no bu nganderi yana twanda yate. Shoncha sen zombi yete nipa yamba hako.
And then I understood that His Holiness really has miraculous power. He really has these extraordinary capacities. So after that, I understood what I read in Atisha's and Selingpa's biographies. After that story, I read those biographies and I understood what they were talking about. It made sense for me. So I understood Bodhicitta's power.
M'a guéri ainsi, eh bien, je me suis dit, il m'a fait part d'un de ses prodiges. C'était un miracle.
그래서 네 어떤 타막 로지때 나롱 은혜 돈에 뇨니 나롱 은혜 돈에 뇨니
Et donc,
So that Bodhicitta's power I experienced in myself and I wanted to share it with you.
우리 그 유한테 존적 센스야데 맞어 뒤전들 아니 프랙티스야 라산나 용거 말했지 녀마치라 니팅지 니선 여 모르모르모르도나 녀마치라 레라고 용거
And this is the reason why it is so important to practice and to cultivate the enlightened mind. In the beginning, it won't be so easy. The result won't come that easy and that fast. You have to practice it continuously, day after day. And slowly, you will start to see the result because the tendency will get stronger.
sana 존적 센 이거라 sana 똥세나 감지세야데 단다 감세나 sana 똥 요르스텔 sana 똥 ям세 sana 똥 감세
So, what we call practice or cultivation or meditation in Tibetan Gam, it means actually to familiarize ourselves with the enlightened mind, to familiarize with it, to think about it.
간 야포살 마제와시 간 디보살 뭐 제 쇼르 되와스 페나 닝아 소니 가반도 노니 가반도 지니 가반도 딘디 콜라 파감제들 마도 존적 센 것도야 감지기
So actually what happened with that is that we do a lot of gum, we do a lot of or kind of meditation in a way that we cultivate the wrong habits, we cultivate the wrong thoughts. We are not used to cultivate bodhicitta, so we cultivate the wrong things. We think what I will do tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So we don't think about the enlightened mind.
et donc,
so this was a presentation of a short introduction to the enlightened mind, wanting to do others happiness.
대신힘보 막 때야때 아주 절라 쉬어남바 나노 박세야 네바시야 제도 맞템바레스
donc revenons.
So let's go back to the book, which is the Precious Ornament of Liberation. Yesterday we talked about the 5 ponds. We talked about that first was presented the Buddha's nature, and that Buddha nature was presented in order to dispel those 5 points, 5 defects.
nimba dehi nimbo te yapa senchen tangche la cha yapa hama ko na senchen memba ta sura nichu shigres ne shön ngaba dehi nimbo senchen tangche la ranyonya ta cha yapa hama ko na soso la te zu yete bojong rao benjong rao te zu yona ngaja shigres.
So I explained the 5 defects yesterday, and the second one was disregard, and the 5th one was pride. And we said that if we don't know that all sentient beings have Buddha nature, we may have disregard to them. And for the 5th one, pride, if we don't know, then sentient beings, it's not only me who has Buddha nature, but all sentient beings, we may think we are special, we have special qualities, and we may develop some pride. So the teaching on Buddha nature will remedy those kind of thoughts.
Et le fait qu'ils sont égaux au niveau de cette nature de Bouddha, eh bien, ça permet de remédier aux défauts de l'orgueil.
Ni soso la yoten ti yo de ngajak de shen de leon de kala ni de mepa chaya la ni yewa ngash past life future life yewa ngash kola sono toya ti kechembo yo sono shen mo yen senje memba la ni chu soso yoten ti yo de ngajak de leon kala ni ti shen de mepa shaya la ni past life future life yewa ngash kola sono toya ti kechembo
Donc,
And so there were these defects, and that defect of having disregard towards other sentient beings. So thinking that others are inferior, that they are lower to us, that kind of thought will be remedied by thinking about rebirth, about Keka Nachi, so birth, death, aging, death, and the fact of that we take rebirth.
Lekin chindaw ko tiendala membaren dute jishina siwa past life no la jishina ko ni pambo yena jishina siwa jima ko ngali karasek ni pambo chanda jish dele yabu chanda jish lisana tong.
For example, when we kind of get disregarding thoughts to other people, we can think about past and future life. We can think that that person which is now in more humble conditions is just something temporary. Right now he is in that condition, but it may completely change in the future. He may be our superior, our chef.
Diyan tundu chires. Diyan rinshu te gong ro tsare. Ando diyan rinshu te jini ma lade.
Because if we take like a picture of that instant of this life is very short, just like an instant. We had so many lives before, and we will have so many lives in the future. So that situation is just temporary. Our now situation is just a picture of an instant.
Ko tienda diyan tundu jino la 조원되나 조레샤 되는 통치시야 돼. 나는 텐디 떠나 용거 말이야.
Et donc, ici, si on regarde cette personne,
So here, if we look at this person, which is the object of our disregard, he may be in bad condition, but that is just momentaneous, just temporary. It will change.
아자 여때 중자 여데 나자 레기 돼. 이두가라용 시바 아마 시마서나 떠나
And then it's the same for the third defect, the pride, having pride. Pride will come when we start to think we are superior and we have like special qualities. And that feeling will be, that defect will be taken over if we think also about past and future life. And knowing that thing will change.
서나 떠나 지시나 시와 아마가 방고이나 지시나 온 시와 지말로 방고치 차는 세인데 튜인 튜지노라 아니 데이트 벤조다 나자시야 카레 요르트 서나 떠나 아니 딩가자도서 용구에서 말았어.
par exemple, actuellement, nous avons, par exemple, des richesses, nous avons certaines qualités.
For example, right now we have wealth and we may have some qualities and we may have pride for that. And if we look at that situation, it's just a temporary situation. We had life before, we will have life in the future as well. Maybe in the future life I will become very poor. Or maybe in the past life I was very poor. So what sense does it make? Does it really make sense to have pride right now on my current condition?
토토 고사 온차 쳔보 레온데깔라 이는 나자 레기레스. 근데 딘리 레비 카들라 아니 시와 가마도 시마 서나토야 개쳔보 요레스.
So in this life, we may get lots of responsibilities and power or a higher rank in the society. And because of that, we are getting pride. We will become proud. And that time, it's important to remedy that thought while through thinking about past and future life.
딘디 시와가 서나토온데 딘 다타베 토도 고사 쳔보 요나용. 근데 다타데 뚜인 튼튼지레스. 시와 지말라오 딘디 토도 고사 온차 딘디 요드메드 하고 말레스. 지시나 베조 차르 그레스.
Because now you may have a high position, very comfortable position, but it's just temporary. It's just for a very short period of time. It may be that in the future you become very poor. We don't know what will happen in the future.
이연더 용 셈바페 혐바쳐 nga 조인 된 혐바쳐 첸데라 깔리쇼 몽보테 디깔라 용 시와 nga 시테서 서나토나 popa legres popa
Kandaina.
pena 첸데라 페조 조스나 하고서 조 week 조보 tani banjurmenke tani nasa tani momboyenke tani ropasenke menke tani yora jo yora ta tani katule sempe hyamdore hyamba sen hyamba tani o hyamba lebi kala o siwa ngashita sana kali tauna yon popa korei chisera popa tegres kitet majet 진짜 진히요.
Akumason di tomala di kiwadinala di shemba.
힘바스나 하고서 베조 차비가 생형 되더라다 nga 쪼레 송스렌 데두 카둘라 시와가셨선 뽑아레그레스 뽑아
Karijini popaleleri.
가르스는 nga 쪼 차대한테 첸데 튜 튠튠 지너레 마도 지시나 시와 지마 야부 차르 지시
Naso teni kiwo mepachado geres. Kiwo mepachado geres.
센바 센 힘들어 힘바데 메바 차니 드니 뽑아레그레스
Popalegeres. Ok. Il se peut.
So it may be also that now in this life you're having difficult situation, you can feel inferior or poor because you may have no wealth, no possession, without people to help you, kind of alone or sick. And that time also, if you think about it, if you think about rebirth, then it will give you courage, then it will give you bravery.
Eh bien, c'est peut-être de voir que à l'échelle de toutes les vies, eh bien, cela va peut-être changer et que dans les prochaines vies, il y aura peut-être une autre condition qui va être acquise. Et donc, voilà, de réfléchir en termes de vie future, de vie passée, eh bien, cela peut aider également dans les situations difficiles.
제가 tene tanda ndochi dunas te ngazo sende nyama ba kawa shul ndog de tani te ti shul mandowa tene tahi tong yores tahi tata ngazo sende ngune tone trombo sia yongres ina ta nyama ba handni pa chu tse chu pa chu ten ro yores 제가 te chu unde kalata nyama ba shul tsulewana ne pazo ya sen trombo ndo ya tahi tong resta.
Therefore, we have to apply ourselves to not letting our mind fall in the wrong directions. So wherever our mind goes, because of afflictions and disturbing emotion, we have to find methods. We have to use tools and all to not fall in the affliction, kleshas direction.
nyamon ba shul mando wa sen trombo ndo ya tahi tong re se jinsen kare tu de gesena
Tachi tangore.
oh ngazo sen de nyamon shul pa tse mando wa che sen de trombo shin gewik shul ya trombo ndo ya ndo gre la de ya jinsen kare re sena de sen nyamon shul ju sena de ngazo lo donga mon bo le res donga.
Donc,
So this because we need to go straight to virtue's direction. We need to go straight in the direction of virtue. We shouldn't let our mind fall on the kleshas, on the disturbing emotions side, because if we let our mind fall onto the kleshas side, then we will just get suffering.
nyamon bi shul mando wa sheni tahi tong ya de ke chenbo res.
This is why it is so important to apply ourselves to not fall in the affliction direction. We have to look at it, pay attention to that.
dam tu soin ba tene de jade hin himbo tene jade hin himbo nga zo ge la yona yons tene shongche sonji to ba la ten ji menji mei lu ten te gu yores tene je za ten ma lu ren chen sem de yores.
donc, en revenant.
So this is why we have those 6 points in the Precious Ornament of Liberation. So we just talk about the main cause, which is Buddha nature, the essence of Tathagatas. Even if we all have this Buddha nature, we need that support that will help us to accomplish Buddha, the enlightened state. And that support will be the second point, which is the precious human body. Precious human body, the precious human existence. Milu Rinpoche.
ten ma lu ren chen se ya de he ge ya jinsen kare re se na shitong jade he nyin bo te ro ri tu wa ri ngal cha so na cha yores cha yore jade he nyin bo ro ri tu cha so na cha yore te shong che to ba la ten ya shu te ani mei lu ten de resta ten ya shu te mei lu ten.
Donc, pourquoi?
So, actually, all the beings, all the sentient beings, the 6 class of beings, have Buddha nature. They all have this nature of Buddha, right? They all have Buddha nature, but in order to truly achieve Buddhahood, the true Buddhahood, you need to possess the human body. You need to have that kind of support. For the full enlightenment, full enlightenment can only be reached through a precious human body, a precious human existence.
C'est à Théon. Tenez, non, je ne sais pas la machi tanko si mi imba tanchi ma imba. Tenez, 단조 저 물르름부 chen c'est 다와 제 조와 저 던리 총선지 미 류된 된다고 지라 다 야쇼레스.
So what do we mean when we talk about the precious human existence? Is it only the human condition? Is it only being born as a human? No. In text, it's written that a human is someone that is able to communicate and understand meaning. This is what we mean when we say human. But here, when we talk about the precious human body or the precious human existence, it doesn't refer to that. Here it means an existence that where we have the freedoms and the endowments, 8 freedoms and the 10 endowment.
다와 제 조와 쩌세네 몸보 손여레데 도츠 드나 다와 제 세야데 도 드나 추드발라 두세여바 된다고 고여레스.
Et donc cette précieuse existence humaine, elle est caractérisée par 8
So that precious human existence is characterized by 8 freedoms and 10 possession, 10 endowments. So if we had to resume them, it would be the following ones. The freedoms are, the 8 freedoms are, in short, having time and condition to practice Dharma, having the leisure to practice Dharma. This is, in short, one means the 8 freedoms here.
Tenen do츠 드나 추드비 갑슬라特见 pas
Ça, c'est pour les 8 richesses, les 8 libertés. Maintenant, en résumé...
So, these are the 8 freedoms. So, then now we come to the 10 possession. In short, it means having conditions to practice Dharma. It means the favorable conditions to practice Dharma.
Tene 오늘 돈에 다당가서 Dhagpo Targyen 히에데비. Tene 손지 토빅 때 물르른체 세대다 가서 총되어레스. 다와 제트 조와자 총선지 미래에서 가서.
So, if we come back to Dhagpo Targyen, for what is useful to us, here the precious human body, the precious human existence where we have the 8 freedom and the 10 possessions is the most favorable support conditions to reach enlightenment.
추드야라 특见용 리드여레스. 근데 임바 성자 나솔라 다 단주치 물르름부 첸세야데 다 나솔 토디여레스.
And if we look at ourselves, we actually have those endowments. We actually possess those 2 qualities. We have time to practice Dharma. We have great conditions to practice Dharma. So it seems like we have this precious human existence.
Concept. 지금 때 드리 총대 봐서서 응 recognize. 문제 시타게 때 빼게 쳔버렸어.
So it's extremely important that you recognize that you see it, that you understand it.
제 마트나 아니 소소 쪼온다 진 산나동 아니 미옌바 쪼스나 하고서 쪼보 나 쪼보인 되산나동 되니 미옌바 지 벤조연케 아니 famous main 챔보연케 뜻올라 아니 나솔 산나동 뜻올 슈레 된데더스 나솔 리코나시 여부시 마트나
나솔 판고레스
말해 나솔 단주 조지 덴비 물리름 보치는 아주 토여버 리코나이즈 제터 그래스 근데 대여부시 마트나 근데 나초 조온다지 미옌바지 벤조 첨보연케 famous 게다 첨보연고 다 티소 자모리 땡아서 사나 똥 그래스 사나 똥 쓰그레스
코란소 미쳔포레스
사나 똥 쓰그레스 나초 단주 조지데 사나 총디르 사나 마똥나 하마코나 미옌질 파사나 똥 데데르스 나초 하고서 나저 다와제 던조왔죠 단주치 물으름 보지 나저 토데르스 다다페나 나선 디노리야게 대 토디여 바티 recognize 하고야 돼 개첨보레스 if 가세 하마고나 드네 나 조온다 지레 테서나동 미옌바 벤조 첨보연케 famous 제모젠케 게다 첨보 대소 자모지레 땡아서 드니사나 동그레스 자모 첨보 야부 쇼레 대사나 동서 그레스 사나 야부 동나 가서 야부레 데레스 단주지 물으로 뭐지 토데라 가서
If we don't recognize that we actually possess this precious human existence, endowed with the 8 liberty, the 8 freedom, and the 10 possessions, and we think that the people who are richer and have more possession are greater than us, and if we don't recognize that, we will think we are poorer than them.
pena football 땡케 게다 첨보 도와스 메시 셈라 로날도 셈라 게다 첨보 도와스 드니 콘조 드니 가서는 쇼레 땡게르다 사나 야보토나 드니 다와제 던조왔죠 단주 좀 물으름 못 챘어야지 차이 말했어 가르세나 추드빅 되서야 말했어 콘조 볼 때쯤 주원
Par exemple,
we may think we are inferior to those great football players like Messi, Ronaldo, who are so famous and very rich. We think they have a great human existence, full of great things. But if we think, well, they don't have a precious human body because they don't have time to practice Dharma because they have to play football all the time.
다 풋볼 째니 때 매체공 주되나 셔잖아 차차르 소마 차차르 다 가이요 말았어 소소 히소나 다 풋볼 째니 딘디우다 게요 말았어
So they will spend all their life to play football and they won't get time to practice Dharma, and one day they will die. And what will be the result?
나촌더이나 근데 가르세 풋볼나 야포체 시기 말했대 추드비가 고가요 추드비가 탄전요 근데 다다 마센데요 세 지말라요 팬도 첨보요 송지 공부터야 근데 리가시 얘기했어
So if we look at ourselves, we don't play football, may don't know how to play football, but however, we have a great opportunity and we have the perfect conditions to practice the Dharma, and this will give great result in the future.
때문에 세야데 근데 단주 좀 물으름 붙인 때라도 그래 단주 좀 물으름 붙인 세나 추드빅 뒤서야 봐 추드빅 탄전이야 봐 근데 거예요
Et donc ici, quand on parle d'un précieux corps humain,
so here when we talk about precious human body, about precious human existence, it means having a human existence with the freedom and the rich, the possession. It means having time and condition to practice Dharma, having really the right time and the condition to get it.
롭다는 누구나 대 롭단 로야라 뒤쳐요 그래서 로단라 대 로단은 로야라 뒤쳐요나 특징에나 용도트여 말했어 특징 거기래서 대닌가 총선나 대 다즈 로단은 로트도 와서
For example, it's like when you want to go to school, the fact of going to school. For going to school, you need to also gather conditions. You need to have time. You need to have the opportunity to go to school. Only having time is not enough. You also need the conditions, the circumstances to go to school. So those two gathered will allow you to go to school only.
Et donc c'est la raison pour laquelle le fait d'avoir du temps est important, mais également les bonnes conditions, les conditions favorables sont aussi importantes.
제선다 대연 디노예 페나 단도 페야나 페나 가서 다단드니 프랑스는 파 자가 인디안 로그나 근데 된 로얄라 뒤서 그랬어 뒤서 여와 장지 펜토고 말았더니 대체 위자라서 봐 그랬어 대 닌가 연았다 로트기 그래서
So another example to illustrate that with time, favorable conditions and time, would be the fact of going to India from France. In order to go to India from France, we need time. But time is not enough. We also need conditions, like having a visa. If we don't have a visa, even if we have time, we won't be able to enter India.
베티 노이 ngazola chudbi 두서요 chudbi 특징이요나 다제 chud니 아니 송처 송지 공부 토토여레스
Et donc
Also, in the same way, as in those examples about the Dharma practice, we have time, we have the right conditions to practice Dharma and to obtain Buddhahood.
다다다 ngazonra 이나 처마 드네 chudbi 두서요 바 chudbi 특징이야 바 차송 레디어레스 단주 주물레는 뭐지 처마 레디어레스 다 단주 주물레는 뭐지인데 토나 드네 chud그마도 추마드 데데나 드네 디기요 말했어
Et donc, nous avons...
So we all have this precious human body. We have these 8 freedoms and this 10 richness, which are the right conditions, the favorable condition to practice. But still, if we don't practice, it's too bad.
시절 바 사실 연반 로얄 두서요 빈 인디안 로얄 두서요 드네 특징 위자요 인디안 마송 데데나 아니 위자도서 배셔광이요 말했어
For example, it's like you have time to go to India, you got the visa to go to India, but you don't go. It will be the same.
제선다 디노이시네 ngazo다다 다 특징이라 차송 총 두처여 특징에 비 카들라 다 배셔야 없던 그래서
Et donc,
So therefore, now that we have time and we have gathered the right conditions, we need to really practice Dharma. We need to use that time very well, and we need to use that precious human existence for practice.
베나 데로벤 젠정고모 젠정고미 그 가르스는스나 ngazo 메일을 텐데 노 럼볼리 좀 짜치와레스 소녀레스
There is a Lama, a master who's called Chandragomin, who said, "This precious human existence is even more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel."
또 로아리 주노네 메일을 텐데 토야라 하정 갈리카오임바 디 노니 좀 단조 좀 멀리를 못 챘어야 토야데 하짱 깔리 카오 옌바 소여레스
나도 손에.
손지기
Ah, yeah, okay.
And even the Buddha said, actually in Buddha's teaching, we can find the Buddha who was saying that among the 6 class of beings, obtaining a human body is extremely difficult. And among those who obtain a human body, obtaining a precious human body, a precious human existence, is even more difficult, even more rare.
Obtenir.
디노이 아니 히왈라기 소여레스 근데 단존드는 니바 현득가 시우 탄리 토바 제발라 가딘들라 펜바 마지나 신이 용던 저와 칼란 줄을 세네 히왈라기 시동 메일itense 토야칼리 카오임바 디노니 단조 점물을 못 챘는데 토야라 하정칼리 카오레스 소여레스
And in the same way, there is Shantideva, Shantideva's teaching, who underlined that aspect. He said that this precious human existence that fulfills all humans' goal, how will I be able to obtain it again? It's so hard to get a human existence.
물을 못 챘는데 가세 토나 드니 텔라 다야 바신지 men지 시그레 마도 아니 단조 좀 물을 못 챘 토비 값을라 취여 보지 드마트나 지마 용자 단조 물을 못 챘 토야라 칼리카오 열선이랬어.
And then he said that they said that once you got a precious human body, you have to use it very well. You have to use it as well as you can. You have to make sense out of it, because in the future it will be difficult to get again such a precious human existence. So now that you got it, you have to use it very well.
Si on ne pratique pas, alors qu'on possède cette précieuse existence humaine, eh bien, il va être difficile de la retrouver de nouveau, de l'obtenir de nouveau.
제선 공기 단조 좀 물을 못 챘. 나초라 라야라 빼 칼리카오 임바테 제이고니 칼리카오 임바 빼이고니 칼리카오 임바 종지고니 칼리카오 임바데 소여레스
Shiwanagi.
히왈라키오
Et donc, cette précieuse existence,
So that precious human existence is difficult to obtain, and Shantideva explains it through 3 criteria. One is the cause. The cause of precious human body is difficult to obtain. The example criteria and the number.
물을 못 챘 토야라 저 게위 릴런체 보트레스
d'accord.
근데 게위 릴런체 보트 나초 난주 드야라 칼리카오 도와스
And so, first of all, in terms of cause, why is it difficult to obtain this precious human existence? The cause of precious human existence is virtue, virtuous action, and especially the 10 virtuous actions. And in a general way, for us, it's difficult to practice the 10 virtuous actions. We are more used to non-virtue. It's kind of easier for us. So in terms of cause, it's hard to get the cause for the precious human body.
나론서 차야니 니마 쇼케니 gonda 발라 니마 찍노라 드니 게와 같이 시기요 무게와 같이 시기요 르마텐 같이 시기 선나 떠나 드니 게와티 베뉴니 시기요레스
So if we actually examine or think about all the actions we do within one day, from sunrise to sunset, how many virtuous actions we did, how many non-virtuous actions how many non-virtuous actions we did and how many neutral actions we did, if we examine that, we will see that actually there is so little virtue accomplished during the daytime, during a day.
wana ngazu mulurun boche toyala kali kawo yore son yores jo tene pe gone yon kali kawo yore son yores.
So therefore, the cause to obtain the precious human existence is difficult to get. And then secondly, we have examples. So cause, examples, number. Now we come to the second one, examples.
Point. Le fait de prouver que la précieuse existence humaine est difficile à obtenir en raison d'exemples, à travers des exemples.
Tene pete ta tado higana risarwa ro pete pena janso chembo nola ribal noma lo jare chane khal leo honke tene ti kon la hinten da chimane pagayenke de no pat shu mombo chil teni ko lo ja chan timare leo ne pagano ngoya trewa te kali kaushodes treat ngone sanata na masapanachi soda yores kali kabu show yores ta daily 좀 물으는 거 챘는데 토야라 kali kabu yores 송res.
L'exemple.
So the example to illustrate the difficulty of obtaining a precious human existence is the example of a turtle in the ocean. The turtle will come up to the surface of the ocean every 100 years. And that ocean is very turbulent. There is a lot of wind. And on the surface of that ocean, there is a piece of wood. On that piece of wood, there is a hole, right? And so it's even harder to get a human existence than the turtle to be able to put his head in the wood hole. So it's easier for the turtle to be able to put its head on the hole of the wood than finding a precious human existence.
Data tonga jana teni tunshu de tunshu bine dingchi yores na ngaso ta kondan zambili mi te tonga jana jet yores ta mi main pa ka teni tandro senche ta so tonga jana tromeres ta tonga kono yamares.
Maintenant, essayons de voir en termes de nombre pourquoi.
So now let's see in terms of number why the precious human existence is hard to obtain, the third point. So in general, there are 7 billions of humans. So, but if we calculate all the sentient beings, animals and all insects, there's an immeasurable amount of beings, and they are much superior to humans in number.
Yamando di mi mumbunda tongu de was. Mune tonen sana toni pena tandro senche ta so butoma yo. Ta so pasa no tona mi tonga tena te ma de yomares. Pe nyunyres mi tonga te.
Yeah, if we, for example, if we look at a marketplace, we will think there are many humans there, many people gathering, but actually there are many more insects. For example, ants. There are much more ants in the world than humans.
Years the mombore, loda no loma tonda. Trere ni re years the halilis na mombore la years. Ina gamba ti area to. Lobda ti area no la tandro senche. Yamba to so mbur yamba troma botoma. Taso sanata taso trome years.
For example, when there is 1,000 monks in the monastery, we will say, oh, there are many monks in that monastery. There are many people, and it's the same in a university. If there are more than 1,000 people, we will say there are so many people. But actually, if we look at all the environment, all the surroundings around those institutions, there are even more insects and ants around. They are in an immeasurable number. There are so many, much more than humans.
보통나 맞서 감바 롭다 춘추 지티 년콜라 에리아를 여대죠 등로 센체 종가대도 잠블링 미 종가니 뭐 드나요 아니 잠블링 미 종가도 녀그레스 옌바몽그레스
So if we had to compare the amount of the number of human beings and the number of insects or animals in this world, actually there are much more animals than insects. It's like you can't even compare the number. It's much superior.
제선테 인디 미 종가선데 빼 녀녀레스 제가 토깔리 커버여서 미르덴데
And why is there less people? We see there are less people, right? And why are there less people, less humans? Because human existence is so difficult to obtain.
미르덴 노 토나이요 단계 콘드슈와 노이 다단 잠블리노라 미 종가 녀녀마도 요 말에티 디노니 다와지 돈조왔죠 단조 좀 물으름 뭐지 토 통케테나 치 녀녀레스
Et donc,
And even among them, the human beings, among those who got a human body, the human one, among them only a few got the precious human body, endowed with the 10 richness and the 8 liberty, the 8 freedoms. So only a few got really the precious human existence, as we call it.
조금 물으름 뭐지 토 그러와 드니 세덴제 라마용 자트여레스 단조 좀 물으름 뭐지요 맞아 토 세덴 라마용 자야코가 여레스
So we have to recognize the value and the preciosity of that human existence. We need to recognize that now we really obtain that existence. We have the 8 freedoms, we have the 10 richness, and on top of that, we've been able to meet with high lama, qualified lama.
아 순추 드니 녀야요 코가 여레스
And on top of that, even we have the great opportunity to meet high lamas, and on top of that, we are able to listen to instructions and teachings.
오늘 손지 의다오 드니 가서 라마 까만 봤다오 드니 라마 지메름 뭐지 데스런 가서 자야 코가 여레 자와 자야 코가 짬도 마제 드니 코나 바츠사니 드니 론도르 아니 순추 데스 셔야하 가서 코가 여레스
Landor Sunchu.
어 순추
Sunchu, c'est non.
순추스나 깔로 추냐야 드니 코가 여레스
Par exemple,
For example, we were so lucky to meet great lamas like His Holiness the Dalai Lama or Jigme Rinpoche. And we don't only meet with them, but we also receive instructions and teachings from them about what is to be adopted and what is to be rejected.
용 드니 야포 가르렌 두포 가르렌 남반지에 비 히라 여레스 가서 히라 남지 여레스
et en plus de cela, donc nous recevons des enseignements, mais également,
So we receive teachings, and on top of that, we even have the capacity of discernment, knowing what is right and what is not.
추드비그 롱 프리덤스라 롱 차송 여레스 가서 추드야 롱 여레스
et
So right now we completely have the freedom and or the liberty to practice Dharma, to really accomplish Dharma.
So ta tachin dusu ton tachin facility sera tamchin tata tanga chudya la dusu ton facility tachin chason o dendrin zambi kabla tani chudne ta sonji kompo totabala bezo shekres.
Et donc, nous avons
So we have time and conditions, favorable conditions, to use it. So we have time and conditions to use our existence in the best way possible.
Kokan juni chud sonji kompo dramatana tani di kokan de hyosona kali kawo yoresta.
Because now that we have the opportunity of doing so, if we don't use it well, if we lose that opportunity, then in the future to get it again will be difficult. It won't be so easy. We need to grasp that opportunity now. Otherwise it will be so hard to get it again.
Tani pena sonji chamdendi. Tani ngatsu jetsen malari patao. Tani chudbi kokara ni chudne sonji tsarares. Tani ngatsu tatala laderes. Ngaronso tatala sonji mata dana laderes. De dedieres sonji tayamares ngatsu.
Sanguier dans Jésus mais la repatabo.
Sonji chamdendi. Jetsen malari pa konambatso sonji bi kokaye bi kala chudne sonji tsawares. Ngazo ti koka ti ngama koka tendi shun yore te koka ti yapun manjuni tata lade restil tata de deder sonji taye mares
Dada natsu dede yeres.
sonji taye mares ngazo sonji bi koka ngama ngazo mombo ra yojres
Alors okay.
koka toyres ina yo koka kipse matores.
For example, the Buddha or even Milarepa were able to grasp this opportunity of precious human existence. And for us, we still didn't reach enlightenment, we are still there. So this may be probably because before we may have the opportunity, but we couldn't use it as well as they used it. So we are left over while they already reached enlightenment.
Yapa dendi katu chumadona tene ngazo samsam kashu kangu de ka tist kashu kandi kala janson rana yona chimanten dedele de chibares.
So now that we have all the capacities and opportunities and time, if we don't practice Dharma, we are like someone who will be next to a lake and thirsty and not drinking water. We will be like that person.
Raya la guguna pe kali kawres tesa momongo sagres chishina.
Maybe in the future it will take a long time to get again that opportunity. It may take really a long time.
Cela, il va être difficile de l'obtenir de nouveau. Cela peut-être va se produire, cela va se reproduire peut-être dans très longtemps.
Pena ngala ngoshi pat so yes. Ngi ngoshi pat obo. Football nda World Cup. Te lo yo yeshede konsa tese rin trachesa ni shina disarsen. Tese perimbo tsawdes.
For example, Khenpo says, I have some friend who says, oh, the World Cup is only every 4 years. I wish it would be every 2 years.
Jibura was. Tata ngatso chudbi luten dende yap kabla. The chuyapo dramatasana, then it jishosana, then the luten denda yonja, rayala, chishina, lo yana junior, chishina, lo ja, lo tonrango sagres.
So now it's just a question of 4 years and they find it too long. But think, maybe for our body, our precious human existence, if we don't grasp this opportunity and use that opportunity now, maybe it will take 100 or 1,000 more human rebirths to get the precious human existence, or 1,000 any rebirths to get that existence again with those opportunities.
Humaine rapidement.
제정 때인데 다 가서 단계 컨디션을 놓으여 손지발라 제 대화 협빈 힘보 가서라요 디땡들라 손지발라 되네 때 단주치 멀으름 버친데요 가서라 토여레스 다대 토픽 값을라 되네 뒤선 졸라만도 하시 그래스.
Et donc,
So therefore, in short, in brief, we have the main cause, which is the Buddha nature, which is the essence of all Buddhas and Tathagatas. And on top of that, we have the support that will allow us to reach perfect Buddhahood. So we really have to use it well. Don't waste it.
희와라 순여레스. 단 딘릭 추드비 고가 루텐 단주치 멀으름 버친 딘리 토픽 갑라 아니 추마다와 신네 토라 뒤선 토라 땅가나 아니 베 논트 챔버스여레스 논트.
And about that, Shantideva said that when you got this precious human existence, to not use it well, it's really a waste. It's really wasting your time if you just get distracted and don't use that opportunity. It's really wasted. It's really a big mistake.
디칼라 테니 당가서 Dhagpo Targyen 노니 손지발라 테니 시당 주순바 노니 다 니딩이 두두치유스 유차송스.
So now I talked about the two first points among the 6 points mentioned in the Dhagpo Targyen to reach enlightenment. So now we talk about Buddha nature and support. So we saw them in brief.
이르바 손지 지 공포 토발라 제 대신 힘보 생제 탐지 나솔라 요. 땐 다른 좀 멀으름 뭐 첸데요. 나솔라 총. 다 대니 지보라 때네 용 손지 터거르센나 터거 말에 되니 가래 그랬센나 제 기위히니 그래스 제 기위히니.
donc
So we all possess the Buddha nature because we are sentient beings. Okay. Secondly, we actually gather the conditions for the precious human existence. We actually gather those conditions. So good. Now we come to the third point. Those two first are not enough. Still we need more conditions to reach enlightenment. We need the third point, which is the condition of the virtuous friend. 기위신인.
요 제 기위히니 셈자 레오치스미레스.
et c'est là.
So this is why in the Dhagpo Targyen, the Precious Ornament of Liberation, the third chapter is about the virtuous friend. What is translated as the spiritual master in my translation.
제 기위히니 그비 전생 가르레세나. 근데 기위히니 메나 다 나츠기 나츠 손지발라 사나 츠 이히 츠 녀모 버더바 히지더바 다 사나 츠도 이히 츠니 야 츠사거바
Yes.
드바님보테 맘 뽕거바 근데 임바 송아연자 제 기위히니 메나 아니 나츠티 롱도트시 히히요 말스 제자 기위히니 셈테 개체 못하나 요레스.
Et pourquoi avons-nous
So why do we need a virtuous friend? Because it's thanks to him that we can reunite the accumulation of merit and wisdom. Thanks to him, we will be able to abandon the afflictions, the veil of afflictions, or depart our veils. And thanks to the virtual friend, we will be able to know what is to be abandoned or cultivated. If we don't have him, we don't know what we have to do, basically, and how to get rid of disturbing emotions.
Langa tenke guide chmena doshi mares. No de gores.
It's like if you don't have a guide, if you don't have someone to show you the way, then how can you know where you have to go? If you don't have someone to show you which way to take, without guide, you can't get to destination.
Pe ti no yi. Tene nga zo yon son ji pa la ya guide shen ge gewi hinye chi. Mena tene nga zo lam chi shiro pi lam na shun ya. Tepa men bi lam na shun ya. Ya ka tepa chenbo lam la ju ma tapa. De mata na son ji kombo to ma tapa. Da tendik no da sa yores.
So if we don't have a spiritual guide, a spiritual and virtuous friend, we won't be able to enter the Mahayana vehicle. We won't be able to practice Dharma, and we will remain on the non-Buddhist path. Thanks to him, he will be our guide, and we won't get lost on the wrong path. The virtuous friend will really help us to go on the Mahayana, the great vehicle way.
Dhagpo Targyen no sun yores. Gewi hinye semte nga zo protection ke. Pena kama to japa ya sa sa ni ya ka nga zo ndo na de la sun cho shen ke ji ge de wa. Gewi hinye semte den da uchre sun yores.
So our virtuous friend, our spiritual friend, is a protector. He's like a protector for us. Sometimes we may have to cross dangerous territories with robberies, brigands, pirates and all. That time we will need a protector. In the same way, we need a protector, and in the hard time, he will be always there to protect us.
Nyamomba kama japa den da nyamomba yores. Tene nyamomba teso ki nga zo jala gewa temple yona toso mepa sheya. Tene tawa toma tawa, tene pache shewa. O tene yo onde kala, tene gewi hinye la tene gewi hinye teso paka, tene teso li suncho shene pote she yores.
So the virtuous friend is like a protector that protects us against robberies, brigands. Here, robberies are like disturbing emotions. It refers to disturbing emotions. They are like robberies. When we get virtue, they are here to steal it. They will block us from liberation. They will make obstacles. So here, the virtuous friend will protect us against those robberies and brigands.
Gewi hinye.
It is said as well that a virtuous friend is like a captain, like a ferryman.
Mena janso para ndo tugumde was.
Or like a boatman. If there is no captain or a boatman, we won't be able to cross the ocean.
Gewi hinye nga zo lam tenken gewi hinye mena tene kowa janso ton rawan di no ni paka tawa tangje chenpa sarya ndo tuge mares.
In the same way, if we don't have a virtuous friend to show us the path to liberation and to help us to cross the ocean of samsara, we won't be able to cross it. We need someone to show us the way.
Tante indikala ta gewi hinye semte ge chenbo res nga zo guyate.
C'est la raison pour laquelle
Therefore, the spiritual friend is so important.
Gewi hinye semte ge chenbo yembate ta nga zo kansekr yak namtataso pena maba lodo mabi namtana yon jana yon geishini chetala kon kalimombo jayores tani mulari pataola chatsana yon ani geishini chetala kalimombo jayores tata ngaso tapon tajin sunbapo tapurombo chena sanatona yon geishini mulari pa chetala kalimombo jayores.
Dans ce traité,
In that treatise, the virtuous friend is considered as like a condition. That condition is difficult to find or obtain. And this we can see through our Lama's biographies. For example, Marpa had to go through so much hardship to meet Naropa. And so it was the same for Milarepa. He had to encounter so many difficulties to find Marpa. And the same applied also to Gampopa, who is the author of our book here. So finding a great spiritual master is something difficult. Sorry.
Mabarambuche, Mabataura Chatsana, Givi Hine Town, Dig Danga Chetala, Sa Peniak Jagalayak, Gambajani, Gambazinle Perez.
par exemple, Marpa, eh bien, pour aller
For example, Marpa, in order to get instruction and find his Lama, Marpa had to go from Tibet to India.
Yena Terin Katsundao, Yamandoya Tadeo Yamares, Yanatabo Yores.
And that time, it was not as it is today. It was not so easy to go from Tibet to India.
Andona Gadino, Motano, Nandano, Traino, Lelaborende was.
de nos jours, c'est
Nowadays, it's more easy. We have trains, cars, and all. That time, none of them was available.
You choose some jag de was. Yeke Yapushina, did some tig de was, Chorondini Pandogre, Yandogre, some tig de was.
et en plus, il y a toutes les indications, il y a tous les panneaux.
Plus, we have all the directions written on the way if you're able to read it. So it's very easy.
Lepi Kapsula, the Namdrio Mares, Motayo Mares, Train Yo Mares, Kambatsuni, the Nichero Yaju, Majus, and the long thinking Yo Mares, Kororon Kalija Perez.
But that time, there was no signs. There was nothing. And so when Marpa had to go to India, there was no boat, no train, no car, nothing. There was no one to tell him where he had to go or to show the way. He had to go by himself.
The Luni, it's Jerimbodos, it's Temba Jessons. It's how she ala Temba Jessons.
Donc là,
So I'm just giving a few examples. There are many more, but it's been a while I read them, so I don't remember everything right now.
Jana, Nantatas Yanjana, the Givishinesem, Kachambo Katsi, Yambate, Hakovres.
So if you get a chance to read the past Lamas' biographies, you will understand why the virtuous friend is so important.
Yena, Tata Natsola, Ta Givishini, Mune Tony Sonji, Mudu Chepa Meba, Eva Meba, Tenders, the Givishini, Kamampat, Jigme Rinpoche, so Yores. Matso Givishini, Konambas Rayores. Sonji Mutao, Kamampat, Jigme Rinpoche, so Rayores.
et donc également, nous pouvons
So therefore we can understand how lucky we are to have such excellent virtuous friends, which are like the Buddha himself, like His Holiness the Karmapa, Jigme Rinpoche. So meeting a virtuous friend is exceptional. We have a great merit, actually.
Santé in the Kala, then Givishini, Tata Shamus, Yujamba, Mus Yujamba, Konambats, Yubi Kala, then not to set Tamzashini, Konambats, Chukare, Sumbati, not so practice Shiati, Kachambores.
So while we have that precious master here, that very great master here, this is why we have to practice well, to use that time well.
Enseignement.
제가 tani dindri koka yopa teyon, dindri givikini rapa, dindri koka te matsu sana yemba teyon, matsu recognize hakogayate, nganzishegayate, kechembores.
So we have to recognize that. That point is important.
Recognize.
And we also have to recognize how lucky we have, that we have so much merit actually to get those conditions and to have that kind of great lamas, master. This is something really important to recognize.
Ani te yanda teto tetawi tando ngata lama mombo, ani ngata ta givikini mombo yores. Sola tata lama kamampa, lama Jigme Rinpoche, konamba tawi tandula ne givikini yores.
So now I just talked about His Holiness the Karmapa and Jigme Rinpoche, but there are many others, of course. There are many others, virtuous friends.
Ta ngatso je deva shepi nimbo ngatso la ye sonji topic. Ten tanjo malu Rinpoche ngatso la to. Rawa. Tene chen givikini nda tao ngatso treate. Sanores.
Et donc, si on fait un petit résumé de...
So, if we make a short summary of what we said, of our situation, among the 6 points, we have the 3 first. We have the Tathagata essence, the Buddha nature. We have the support, that is the precious human body. And we have the condition, that is the virtuous friend, the spiritual master. So we right now possess and have and gather those 3 points.
Ta to yore, givikini yore, na givikini le ya tendu kala tentong te hakoyate kechembo yores. Kanriza teng yabate. Givikini le ya teng rawa. Ti tenyate, ani ngatso ta tentong te pe kechembo, zazashi tenyate kechembo res.
For example, we have a virtuous friend, a lama, a spiritual master, and we have to pay attention of his teaching. We have to focus on that.
Yate ngatso lama to loma sena giv o ten
Ah, laisse, ok.
chunja hebe. Givikini tentong se yate, lama to loma tentong se yate, tene nyamdela, desa chila, pena komba chitao, non dena go nyamde taba dedena, teyon shen chiyores.
And there is a way, actually, it was not about the teachings. Of course, it's about practicing, but actually, Khenpo said, it's you have to follow the Lama well, the way of relying on the Lama. For example, if Lamas and students stay together in the same place, it may be there may be a defect in that. We have to find the right way, the right distance with the Lama. Staying together in the same place may have also defects.
Mechinde yana, bet zal chasana, ngatsu tsiduk de was. Nyamandao yana bet zal sona tsiduk res. Ti nongje, givikini da zal nyamdela tapa dedena. Givikini korona shen yo mare te, ngatsu nyamamba yawa son yanza. Nyamaji shen tende ngatsu tong res. Givikini la shen yo mare te, ngatsu nyamo yaba son yanza, shen tong res.
Donc,
So, it may be that if we get too close to the Lama, it will kind of burn. There will be some kind. If we are too close to the Lama, there may be some kind of defect. It may burn, as if we were getting too close to fire. What happens is that a true Lama has no defect, but we have so many disturbing emotions. Because of those, we see so many defects in the Lama. And so that defect may arise if we get too close to him.
타 림보시니 레바 짜니 맞아. 타 림보즈 데나 용션여레스.
However, if you stay too far from the Lama, there are also defects. If it's too far, it's also a problem.
페나 메 동아서 타 림보시나 저 용금인데 왔어. 냐마도 타 림보 데나 저 용금인데 왔어.
In the same way as if we stay too far from the fire or from sun ray, we won't get the heat of the sun. It's the same here.
Ne nous parvient pas.
제선 게위키니도 타 림보 데서나 갈래갈래 레바 쳇려야 년가 요레스.
If you stay too far from the Lama, there is a danger that your link, your connection to the Lama may be broken.
tane kanri de 그랬으나 렘바치 de 그랬어. 렘바치 타 tapma nyanda tende pet mayimba. Pet 타 림보전 레와 메바 tende 메바. 렘바치 페나 메도 ngaso nimbo 타 렘바치 되나 따따 ngaso 지구면 되었어. 저 메바르면 전 되었어. 녀마 왔다가로 그랬어. 타리나 저여 말에 타트나 지르드 렘바치 되나 아니 ngaso 저래기 되었어. ngaso 그야. 다 기위신이 왔다가로 그랬어.
So we have to find the appropriate, the right distance to the Lama. We shouldn't be too close, otherwise it would burn. We shouldn't be too far, otherwise we don't get the heat. We have to find the right proper distance, something in the middle of those.
Du lama, la radiance du lama.
단동이 빼지야나 ngaso pena depth 차가나 depth 페트카스 미카야 코나 타니오시거나 통구면 되었어. 베드 림보 바카스나 용자 통구면 되었어. 린리지가나 따따 통구면 되었어.
It's the same like when we read a book, if we keep the book too far, we can't read properly. If we keep it too close to our eyes, we can't read the book. You have to find the appropriate distance. It's the same thing with the Lama.
제선타 기위신이 셈테요. 테니 베트카스타 니오시스나 테니 ngaso로 니야모 바야바 소야자 테니 차라 그래스. 베타림보 시소네나 아니 데와야 더 데발란드리 니엔카 요레스. 테니 린디지 테니 얌세 기위신이라 약간 루시네.
Yamse.
오펜스 말이야 오펜 용자 tani kona ya condition londro danga to maka ni hyani tinga to practice chia de ya shu de res.
Donc en raison.
So because of our disturbing emotions, it's necessary to not stay too close to the Lama. And in order your link to not be cut with the Lama, don't stay too far neither. Find an intermediate middle distance. Listen to his teachings, know what is to be cultivated, and abandon and apply the teachings.
제선타 때 인디칼 단도츠 드나 아주 송지 토발라 제데버히 핀임보 아니 때 단주춤을 뭐지 아니 쟁기위신이 샘탱 아주 총거들 다 디든 아주 다 düdü징이 휴차레스.
So in brief, I said that I talked about the first point, the cause, Buddhahood. We have the cause for Buddhahood, which is the Buddha nature. Then we saw in brief that we have the support, the precious human body, the precious human existence. And we have the condition, which is the spiritual friend, the virtuous friend.
yala yane tani takama kashinde cheta dwayena tina tiktis.
So we will stop here for today, and if you have a few questions, it's time to ask them.
Elles sont les bienvenues.
Merci pour vos explications. Quand vous dites qu'il faut reconnaître le mérite que l'on a à avoir cette précieuse existence humaine, moi, j'ai tendance à développer.
When you say that we have to recognize the merit of having this precious human existence, I kind of develop some kind of pride because I'm kind of special. So what should I do with that tendency? Like when I recognize that I got the precious human existence, I cannot get pride out of it. So how to remedy that?
Maris ngaja seyati koron chejora che kon gasna ngaja chano 그래서 ngaso sana 첨부 연발라 연바 문제 시거나 대 ngaja 로고 말했어 ngaja 차고 말했어 sana 첨부 연발라 연바 문제 시와 잠지 ngaja 차고 말했어 다 ngaja seyati 다 나나 하이 sana 첨부 쇼에 nga리 라지 사사나 메시므로 차서 근데 체를 가서나 오버 차서나 ngaja 차로 그래서 나서 멀리 림보체 토야데 오늘 돈에 써나래스 진짜 써나 연바데 하고야데 개체모래스 하고야 하고서 써나 연바라 연바차 하고야데 개체모래 다 데라 아니 땅아 하정배 겨울에 텐서나 동안에 되 ngaja 차로 그랬어
Le fait de reconnaître que l'on a ce mérite, cela n'est
So recognizing that you have this merit is actually not pride, but saying that I'm so excellent to have such a merit, I'm so good to have such a merit, that it may become pride.
리트노니 루테 야슈데 미츠여레스 땡아자다 다다 미 루텐 토니 미용데 아니 나 미인테나 땡아자 차고 말했어 나저 미레드레스 미레드레 미인테나 땡아자 차고 말했어
parmi les 6 classes d'être,
So among the 6 classes of beings, the best support to get Buddhahood is the human body. And recognizing that you're lucky to be a human is not pride. There is a kind of size in the pride.
디 공원에 차서나 땡아자 차로 그랬어
Yeah, pride will take place when you think yourself over the situation, kind of. I think Khenpo is trying to make a difference between being proud of yourself and having pride. You can be proud, but having pride is different. You kind of think you're over the situation, think you're kind of better. You go to another step.
베나 저런 ngaja 동버시어데 ngal 하지 메트네 ngaja 시에서나 근데 저런 하자 미신 두드먼데 다시 야보시 데 저런 은에 돈에 가리인데 답지시 그랬어 베나 ngal 합지 로종스지 메테나스 로부종 메테나 근데 은에 돈에 저런 로종 가리 데 사나 야보 또 저런 마인 바 미라 근데 로종 연계 쓰드 선드 다 내니 데 쓰드 로종 책이데 사나 또나 아니 저런 ngaja 갈래 가리셔도 그랬어요
Et s'il y avait un orgueil,
So if there was some pride, what will be the remedy to that? For example, if our pride is about personal advantage, we would need to analyze what we think we have better than others. And do really others don't have the same qualities? We have to analyze that.
아디에디요나 팅이 칼리 현주 여보 시도 로지도서 여보 따나 나를 합선 키바다 드파 드토 mambo yores toso thonsone na nga khaye mai pat ma chadu kres
Because you can look at others, and while looking at others, if you look well, you will see that actually there are many people who are better than you, superior to you. And if you can recognize that, then the pride in Tibetan Ngagyal will go down.
mas semba ngi kaya hi madu ten mas sen big chana soso le joa yora soso le joa soso le duba yora dua hakosa ngali duba big te yora konsola tani nga otsren ya sen pa kres sen ya sen hu pa kres ataten result ya result oye oye
Si vous avez une autre question.
Je voulais juste savoir si c'est vrai que c'est l'affliction la plus difficile à quitter, enfin l'orgueil. Est-ce que c'est vraiment, je crois savoir que c'est l'affliction la plus résistante. Voilà, j'ai pas autre chose à demander, si c'est vrai.
I want to know if pride is really the hardest affliction to get rid of. Is it the hardest or not?
Sanatona Kalikashu Yenjires. Kalikashu Seatena Yomares. Sana Yapotona Soso practice Yapushina Nyomo Kangate Poyala Kalikauke Yomares. The practice Yapo Macha Sanena. Nyamu kareyena poyala kali kaw chasares.
Khenpo dit que
So actually it depends whether you practice or not. If you practice, there is no affliction that is harder to abandon than another one. But if you don't practice, everything is kind of difficult. It depends of your effort. In some way, what you say is true, but in another way, not really. It really depends on your personal effort.
Japon kagre, de Japon lagre, control karsiera, pon kagre sen, tendi yomares. So chesu, soso ka nyembu ten hi mehi, bezo she meshi der tuderes.
Ici, il ne s'agit pas de la difficulté d'abandonner le désir attachement.
So here it's not about the difficulty to abandon desire, attachment, or anger. It's not about that. What is crucial here is whether we apply antidotes, poisons, antidotes, or not. Whether we are able to abandon those poisons is whether we use the antidote or not. One more question.
On arrête là.
Juste une réflexion, voir ce que Khenpo en pense. À savoir que le mépris dépend à mes yeux plus d'un état d'esprit que d'une chose qu'on possède ou pas. Genre être riche ou pauvre. Énormément de pauvres méprisent les riches, surtout dans notre pays, qui est la France. Avoir fait des études ou ne pas en avoir fait. Si je n'ai pas fait d'études, je peux très bien mépriser quelqu'un qui en a fait. Et du coup, c'est plus en lien à un état d'esprit qu'une possession extérieure. C'est plus une position intérieure qu'une position extérieure, dépendant de l'extérieur, des signes extérieurs de richesse ou autre.
So this regard is more connected to an inner, let's say, inner thoughts, or it's not dependent on outside condition. For example, some people have done studies and they will disregard those who haven't done studies, and the opposite is also true. So I think disregard is more dependent on inner conditions than outer conditions.
Meraton waki sende de samlo chigre de tanaina de yulla la haragrigi mare hagrigi mares
일하라리기 말이요.
kainana de
메라 땅으로스. 페나 위크 퍼센티라 마고마지라 메라 땅나.
gomagi
오마지크 공로약 메라 땅으로. 메라 땅데 코론코 쉔치자기레스. 쉔. 페나 미스이나 미초말라. 쉔레레니레 여스그레스. 쉔스나 하고사 논틀. 미강갈라 논트자네 맹게 미칼리 카보레스 논트 쫑쫑 차선 좀 미지와 칼리 카보요레스 샤서 다 고마기 오마라 니치시아테도 오마 고마라야 카톤야테 니 가와가와 쉔주게 됐다 그랬어 쉔주 가와시게 됐다 그랬어
So the translator said, I did my best to translate. So this regard is there in a case or another. It's difficult to find people who only have qualities, and it's difficult to find people who only have defects. It's always a mix of the two. It's up to us to examine where our defect is, where our defect in our view is.
요마레스 얘나요 다시 추운디 시추지디 시추라 소사이티 시추
society
시추지 데온데칼라 까토 때든 리민디 샹창아서 믹스 단데 샹레서 문즈치기레스 테니 다 딕션데 아니 미 톰보톤 미 마오 강갈라 아니 모뉴레 마토 여스그레스
ce qu'on appelle
So what we call a defect can be found in anyone.
바트바지 요마레스 티예나요 나존데 소사이티세라 시추지노 말레온데칼라 단데션레 데 여텐레스 마토 미 난뚝지 주여레스 난뚝지 주여레스 티 난뚝 티 주가지 챤테 몽보 뉴뉴 체바레 마토 미 몽체살라 티 챤테 요레스
en fait ce qui
So what we call defects don't truly exist by themselves. The thing is that once you come to live in a society, everyone has judgments and concepts. Everyone thinks defects and qualities exist by themselves, but actually it's just mostly other judgments and concepts.
미 우마지 미 멤버지 그뭐 토야 된다 지라 카톤나 니지시나 메라톤나 지시는 가서 난뚝 주
So when someone who has more humble conditions would criticize someone with superior conditions, he would think he saw a defect and that defect really exists.
Xuanxia de to mi sen ya ma zo tong re ma te yo korong la tani dik cheba ti zo ro ma zo sen ba re sen.
So what you said is true. It doesn't depend, disregard doesn't depend on outside condition, but on inner conditions, the way you see it.
Yores. Hina yo mil pa ta on de xuan shu ni shira ta ya ma re. Xuan shu ni ta na tani xuan mo bo tong ani tel ma ga wa cha. Tani nyama mo ba sa ga re. Ye ten shu ni ba ta ke chen bo yores.
Therefore, we shouldn't, therefore we all have defects. Actually, everyone has defects, but we shouldn't focus on those defects, because focusing on the defects will only bring us to more afflictions, more disturbances, while we should rather focus on the qualities. It's better to focus on the qualities than the defects. Otherwise, you will just feel unhappy.
Chu shen ke yin de ka la chu practice she bi kap se la shen k chat shira ta ya yamar ye ten k chan ya ta ya de mal mi yen pa ka ye ten k chan ta na te ni ji si ro mo ya ge wa pe ge shen k shun shi na ni ka ton ya yamo mo ba sa gres.
Et donc, en tant que pratiquant.
So, as a Dharma practitioner, we have to see others' qualities. We really have to focus on others' quality rather than on the defects. If we are able to see their qualities and rejoice in them, then we will gather virtue. While if we focus on the defects, we will only get to disturbing emotions. So now time is over. We've been over time for 8 minutes. I'm so sorry for that. So we stop.
Sonon de ye tang je zi ba ye tona ni bi dan na panshin xie ga nan ji ban long tu ba ye se bi cho le do wa shu.